Hi everybody from the river. Welcome to whatever this river's called and whatever these waterfalls are called. I don't know. I'm gonna run through 5 top tips for shooting pets and dogs and stuff around water, including this waterfall right here and probably some of the spots as well. And hopefully it'll help you out. I wanna show you around, I wanna show you a few tips. I'll probably pick a slightly quieter location so I'm not having to shout over the water noise. But hopefully I'll give you something that will help you out next time. If I do, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. There are gonna be some products sprinkled into this video. All of them are ones I use on the regular, on the daily, things I trust. So yeah, oh my goodness, my arm's gonna fall off. I'm gonna pass this to Dan in a sec. See you, bye. So I said I'd do 5 tips. We need to do 5 tips. The top 5 tips for photographing dogs around water, in my personal opinion, are as follows. Tip number 1 is all about safety. So I know that you might be like, oh, well, that's not really a tip. Yes, it is. So safety is so vital, especially around moving water. Even if it's just a body of water, it's still dangerous. So most dogs struggle to get in and out of waterways, and especially if you're working around waterfalls, the bottom of that waterfall is an extremely high velocity place, which is usually deep, and there's often hidden stuff under there too, rocks, sticks, metal, whatever it might be. So only ever go around waterfalls if, number 1, you know that they are safe, number 2, the dog is comfortable around water, and at number 3, you are able to keep them under control at all times. Usually that means putting them on a lead. So keep the dog on a lead, do not ever put them in danger, and if you are ever in doubt, don't do it. When you're shooting around a waterfall, tip number 2 would probably be to not just go for that one obvious shot. So the obvious shot would be probably something like the dog's in the water with Buckstone's Jump behind us and the kind of valley area landscape-esque. That would be the obvious shot. Other people's obvious shot perhaps would be the dog sat on the pebbles here with Buckstone's Jump, the waterfall behind it. So don't just limit yourself to that. Try and utilise lots of different things in the location. If there's different rocks, use the rocks. If there's different beach areas, use the different beach areas. If there's different top sections and they're all safe, use them. If the dog's okay going into shallow paddling water, then see if the dog will go into shallow paddling water. Of course, safety is always the most important thing, but it's good to experiment and have fun with all of these different things. Tip number 3 is to use a polarizing filter. So a circular polarizing filter, or CPL, is invaluable. I'm going to show you some examples up on the screen of situations with a polarizing filter and without. As you can see, the polarizing filter, it completely eliminates and massively tones down any polarized light. So that is reflected light from the sun on a hard surface, whether that is a rock, whether that is glass, metal, water, it doesn't matter what it is. But if you can get the angle right from you to the sunshine, and you can also get your polarizing filter right on the right twist, then you will be able to eliminate those reflections and everything will look much more clear, much more contrasty, and much more saturated. So the images will just look better. Most pet photographers can do wonders by just using a polarizing filter. My favorite polarizing filter is the CPL from K&F. K&F Concept have some really great filters because they're magnetic, which is absolutely incredible when you're working with dogs and animals where things move really quick and you need to be quick on, quick off, and not spinning stuff around all the time, threading up filters. So definitely go ahead and check those out. We'll put links in the descriptions and make sure that you can see what's going on. When you do have that kind of hero-esque shot where you have both the dog and the waterfall all happening together, it can be really dreamy to go ahead and get that silky water look. It's actually really not that hard to do that, but you're going to need a few bits of equipment. So a sturdy tripod, and to be honest, a sturdy tripod is good just anyway if you're going to be doing lots of leash removals and human removals from your dog photos, because you can just take an empty shot with nobody in, but it will be perfectly aligned to the last one that you took with the subject in, which is usually your better shot in theory. So a good tripod from me. I really like the K&F Concept
carbon fiber tripod, which is what we've got here. It's got the twist legs, which I find really useful. It also has an inverting column, which means that I can put the camera underslung. So even though I'm using a tripod, I can still actually shoot from floor level, which is not available on all tripods. So it's something that is really great to look into. And also because it's carbon fiber, it's really light. So that helps me out because I'm not lugging around loads of weight on my back.
When you've done that, you need to implement tip number 5, which is to go ahead and slap some ND filters on the front. ND filters work just like sunglasses for your camera lens. So all it does is just makes it darker. So you're putting your sunglass, I don't know, on the front of the camera lens. It makes it darker, which means that you can get away with doing much longer exposures. If you're going to do longer exposures, make sure you go ahead and set up your timer, the self timer on the camera, so you've got 2 seconds before it starts taking that long exposure. And make sure your exposures are well controlled, because white water, in the foamy bits where water's moving a lot, white water is a little bit bright. So make sure you slightly underexpose in most cases, but not too much that you have to lift it up afterwards and introduce noise.
With all of these tips squished in together, hopefully you'll feel confident to go out and try your photo shooting situations that include water and waterfalls with dogs safely. And I mean that, like I really mean that. We are not going to be held liable for anything that you do that is stupid, that puts dogs or yourself or clients or whatever else, whoever else in danger. So just don't do it, because you're smarter than that, and I know you are.